I'm here on a caravan park and we've got a street light here, and all of these things all form part of our electrical installation that all have to be inspected on a regular basis. So inside one of these columns, if it's out on the street, we'll normally have a supply from the electricity company, from the DNO, that comes up into a fuse cutout in the column. From that fuse cutout, we can then isolate the supply from the street, and then we can work on the cabling up the column to the street lighting head. The interesting thing about caravan parks and private installations is we can expect absolutely anything when we open this column, because we're not sure how it's been installed. That could be anything from into an adaptable box, into a piece of terminal block, or anything. I've seen all sorts over the years. So we're going to take this column apart, we're going to have a look inside, and we're going to talk about what we see. But it's really important, anything like this that involves metalwork that a member of the public could touch, so whether that's anything from a lit sign to a street light, to a bus shelter, any of the things like that that form part of an installation, all have to have regular inspection and testing to the current certification. Because a member of the public, a fault could develop on here, member of the public could get an electric shock, and we need to protect against that. So some of the first things we do, have a quick look round, make sure there's no damage to the column. Very often the animals will urinate up against the column and we'll see damage or rust or corrosion. We wouldn't want to put a ladder up against a column that's got signs of corrosion there. We'd need to use tools to work from height, for example, a scissor lift or a bucket. So I'm going to go and get a key. We always need a triangle key for these, because it's a column that's designed for a member of the public not to be able to get into. So we're going to unlock this cabinet now, and then we're going to take a look on the inside. So as I promised, I'll take you through what's here inside a street lighting column. So this is what we call a fuse cutout. This is what we'd find in any high street light or piece of furniture, street furniture. If we had a supply coming in from the electricity company, it would come up into this. So let's take this apart now. This one's obviously been covered in fly dirt and bugs and things like that. So as we open this up, there's a little slide across here that allows us to isolate. This one's got Hager breakers inside, but we isolate the column and then we can slide this across, and it allows us access to a cartridge fuse for the column. That's normally a 6 amp cartridge fuse, so we'll have a quick look in there, and there we go. There is a 6 amp cartridge fuse inside there. It's all in good condition. It's a Lawton fuse and the BS88, made in the UK, so good quality. We'll have to do check when you're doing pat testing or any kind of things like this, for making sure it's got the British standard kite mark on there, making sure it comes from a reputable manufacturer, because there's a lot of Chinese counterfeits that come out and into the market. So that's how the fuse cutout works. Isolate the power, slide the bar across, and then we can re-energize the circuit. But let's loosen that off, and then we can take a look inside. This one's from Charles Endirect, one of the biggest manufacturers of street lighting accessories. Lots of these about. Right, so we take that off. We have the incoming supply here, which on this site is an armoured cable, and they've put the armoured sheath down onto the bolt here at the bottom. We can see the outgoing circuit here. It's got the earth on the twin and earth that goes up the column, and there's no sheathing on that, so that will get mentioned in my report. That needs a little bit of a tidy up. It comes in through the rubber grommet here into the outgoing ways on those. We'll give those a quick check, make sure that they're nice and tight. Tighten everything up. So this column is live. That needed a little bit of a extra tweak. These ones are nice and tight. So this column's live at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll take an earth fault loop impedance here to see what we've got. So I just set my meter to the right things. So on this column, obviously this is a plastic enclosure, so we're not going to get any metal work on there. So I will take into there, and then down onto, if you can see what I'm doing, down onto the meter reminding me. There we go, and we've got 1.68 as our earth fault loop impedance. And that, we've got a large piece of metal here into the ground, acting like an earth electrode, as well as the earth supply to the column as well. So that's why we've got quite a low reading. But they're the things to expect inside a street light when we're doing an electrical inspection on pieces of street furniture and things like that. So I'm Jamie Morgan, I'm an electrical engineer for ESI Electrical Safety Inspections, and I look forward to meeting you when we come to test your electrics.